Hello everyone, it's Leo, and Healing Good PreCure is finally back with episode 31. I was super excited for this episode and it delivered. I feel like the result was even better than what I was expecting, and the break we had last week made me want this episode like crazy. But yes, episode 31 was great, so let's talk about it. We start the episode right where the other one left off, and we see the girls going back to the fight because there is another Byogen. But when they arrive there, they notice that this Byogen is a little different. And the Byogen itself was very interesting. It was a teacher that became a Byogen, and we were able to see that it had lots of glasses in lots of different places of its design. I loved that. And one thing that I found a little strange, but also in character, was that when the girls arrived, Shindoine just spilled the beans. And she explained that that was a new Byogen, a Giga Byogen, which was very powerful. And now she's able to infect people, not only elements, as she's been doing before. And she just told the girls, like, girl, keep a secret. It would be better for you as a villain. But the girls tried to fight and they couldn't. They were defeated super easily in this first fight. They were thrown away, and it was very funny because, you know, just one slap of the monster made them fly away and de-transform. I mean, it's Healing Good. We know they're not that strong. But one funny thing about this first fight was that Cure Earth didn't do anything. I think she got a chair, she sat down, she sipped some tea while she watched Grace, Fontaine, and Sparkle be beaten. And she just didn't do anything, she just looked. And I knew they were going to be defeated, that was clear. But I thought that they were going to at least fight a little bit, and Cure Earth would have a little bit more of a chance of going against that monster. Did not happen like that. Cure Earth, with just a gust, she was beaten as well. And Shindoine went back to King Byogen with the Giga Byogen. That surprised me because I thought that we needed a little time out for the girls to recompose themselves and to get strong again. But the thing is, I thought that the Giga Byogen would stay and would try to infect the place because it would still be there infecting while she would be there with King Byogen. And when she was there, we had an interesting talk. Finally, Shindoine is surprising King Byogen. She is being noted by King Byogen, so she was super happy. And the other two were also entertained by the idea that she infected herself. I mean, that reason wasn't entertained because he is never entertained. He is only entertained when he is around Cure Grace. But it was interesting, like Guairu said, like, she was brave by doing that. And I feel like Guairu is going to do that as well, but I don't think that Reason will do it now. I think that Reason will do it only later on in the season. My bet is that he is going to infect himself only in the last few episodes for the last fight. Let's wait and see. And in that moment, in the villain's side, Shindoine also said that she is going to do everything in her power to bring King Byogen's body back. This is a new information for us. I mean, it was pretty clear that King Byogen didn't actually have a body, but now we have like a confirmation inside the series itself that he doesn't have a body, and they are working on to restore his body so that he could probably fight with them. So I wonder, what is King Byogen's body? Is he a human-like creature like the other three, or is he an animal? I am so curious, or maybe he is something else entirely. I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know what to think. So when we get back to the girls, we have them de-transformed and they are still in the zoo. So one interesting thing about that is how the presence of the Giga Byogen disrupted the animals. Because if you think about it, like I never really stopped to think about it. When they attack, they disrupt the environment, they pollute the environment. So the animals were feeling that. And that was very interesting. I really liked how they gave each girl her own moment to say something and, you know, to interact with the animals and what was going on around them. That was a very nice thing about this episode. Each of the girls were able to share what they were feeling. Except for Asumi But Asumi, I mean, it was still a new thing to her. She was learning the feeling of defeat that we go through every single day of our lives. She was learning that at that moment, because since she arrived, she hasn't been defeated. She just made her way through the monsters very, very easily. She didn't have someone to back her, to be against her, that would be strong as her or stronger than her, like in this episode. But they found the little boy from the last episode. His father is the one that turned into a Byogen. The little boy was super scared, and they had a little talk with him. It was very nice because he acknowledged in that talk that there are PreCures in that world, and it was very funny. Hinata's face at that moment was priceless, and Asumi even told him, like, yeah, the PreCures will take care of that. They will help you. They will save your father for sure. Believe in them. Keep on believing. And so at that moment, also we had Shindoini coming back and attacking again, this time around in a different place. It was in a port. And they told the boy, like, yeah, we're going to see if we have more people to save. And then they went on to fight. So they transformed and they got back to the fight. So one interesting thing about this fight is that first, I think it was the first time that we had a fight in Healing Good that wasn't in the countryside. Like, there wasn't in grass full of trees around them. This was in a city, and it was interesting. The change of scenario was very interesting. I was glad they did that, and I loved it. I loved the way it ended up, because the fight itself was so cool. I adored this fight. The girls, before getting the power-up, the girls went on to the fight, and they tried new things. They tried new stuff. They knew that if they were defeated, if they were hit, they would be transformed because the monster was very, very strong. So they tried to evade the attacks, and also they used lots of bottles in this fight. I really liked it because for a couple of reasons. So far, I think Healing Good is doing a poor job with the bottles. They're very boring to see in battle most times. But in this episode, it was nice. You know, the animation of the fight was incredible. The way they used the bottles, everything was very, very nice. And they used basically almost all of their bottles. And it was super, super cool. Cure Earth used all her bottles, basically. I think she didn't use the main one because she didn't use her main attack. But the other two she used. Super, super nice. And the way they fought, you know, trying to evade the attacks and, you know, be a little smarter than they are usually in Healing Good. That was good. But the fact that they tried to use Healing Oasis in the monster and Cure Earth didn't try to use her individual attack, which is the strongest attack we have in Healing Good so far, we had before this episode. Earth, wake up, girl, wake up. And obviously Healing Oasis was not enough to defeat the monster. He deflected the attack, he hit the girls back, they just flew and fell to the ground. At that moment, I really liked that usually when we get power-ups, I think that in PreCure in general, the pink cures, the lead cures, are the ones to lead the situation. They're the catalysts for the change that is needed for them to wake up and get the power-up. In this episode, while Pure Grace had a big importance at that moment, I felt like Cure Earth was the one that actually needed the support and needed the realization so that the power-up would be born. And I really liked that moment because she was beaten and she lost hope because it was the first time of her learning a new emotion, which is loss and despair and fear. Lots of new emotions at that moment for her. And I liked it because usually with Earth and Asumi, what we have is that we have an episode focused on each emotion. And in this episode, it wasn't like that. It was an episode that was focusing on something else. And in the middle of that, she was able to learn a new emotion. I really like this. I really hope that if they're going to keep on teaching her new stuff, it would be like this, not a focus on each single episode, because that kind of got old already. We had lots of them in Healing Good so far. And so Nodoka stood up and she said why she wants to keep on fighting. And that inspired Chiyu to stand up again and say what inspires her. And that inspired Hinata to stand up and say something. Amazing, amazing scene. And another thing that was very nice, before that, a little bit, when Pure Earth said she was giving up, that there was nothing they could do anymore, Pure Sparkle looked at her and said, girl, if you give up, what is in it for the rest of us? You are the strongest one. We don't even come close to you. Don't give up, please. And so, obviously, she didn't give up at the end. The girls, the three of them, even the three of them being weaker than her, they had the will to keep on fighting, and they taught that to her, basically. And she understood that feeling, so she said, let's get back to fight. And that's what they did. When they got back, they were able to, with their emotions and the power of all of the bottles, and also the power of Latte, they were able to have the new weapon and the new attack with the new power-up. Oh my god, that was incredible. The attack is incredible. I loved it. So pretty. And the girls just defeated the Giga Byogen easily. After that we had a very cute moment between the teacher and his son. Very, very adorable. And also the final moment of this episode we had the girls talking, and an interesting thing, Hinata saying, see, we got new costumes, what did you think of it? I love when they acknowledge things that happen in their cure forms when they are in their human forms. I just love that so much. And even like she is saying, girl, this is not a fashion show. Amazing. I really liked it. And one other thing we need to talk about is Tatsunu. Yes, she appeared finally. And one thing I didn't understand about what she said is that she never felt that power before. Like when the Giga Byogen appeared, she never felt that before. That was totally new to her. Oh my god, I never felt such an ominous power like this. Girl, you already fought against King Byogen himself. You fought him twice. You fought him with Fu, the original cure, and you also fought by yourself. So you probably know, like, Giga Byogen is probably not stronger than King Byogen. But right at the end of the episode, we see her saying, oh, the girls got to power up and everything, but oh my god, what is going to come next? And we see King Byogen himself laughing. He is coming with the clouds. Oh my god, King Byogen, I believe that now, not now, because next episode is going to be a chill episode, but I feel like the gears are starting to turn. Things are starting to walk forward, and soon we're gonna see King Byogen in action, and I cannot wait, because it's been such a long time since we saw his face there, and we don't know who he is, we don't know what he's after. I mean, we know what he's after, but we don't really know much. We know nothing about King Byogen. So please, show us. Please show us. Anyways, that was my view on episode 31. I want to take this a little time to thank all of the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for believing in Magical Cinnamon. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye bye.